Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about the moon sextile or trine, the south node in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They're a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy, so what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have the moon sextile or trine, the south node, in a natal chart, you may easily meet the need, which is the moon, and to do what you feel comfortable with, which is the south node. Keep in mind, the moon in the south node, are similar in one way, at least in the sense that the moon is what we're comfortable in, what we feel at home with, and the south node can be our comfort zone. So if you have, this in a sextile or trine aspect with each other, it could be, easily doing, what you feel, comfortable with. The south node is in Virgo, say. It could be, something connected with, analytics, statistics, organizing. I have the south node, you know, in my fifth house. That could be about analytical and intellectual amusement and enjoyment. But if you have, the positive aspect, with this, then, it's easily, having the need, being in the mood to do those things. If the south node is in Aquarius, say, what you may feel comfortable with, may be tied in with altruistic humanitarian endeavors, doing something connected with astronomy, astrology, computers, electronics, innovation, meteorology, aviation, as some examples. And the thing is, it's also about, if you have the moon sextile or trine the south node in a natal chart, it may be easy to get away, which is the south node. If there's any negative, qualities associated with the unconscious side, which is the moon. Now, let's say if you have your moon in Gemini, say, there may be some negative qualities connected with that placement. Maybe, a person may be very mercurial or fickle. This person may scatter energies, being overly restless. Difficulty finding, some kind of integrating, unifying purpose. As some examples, being overly contradictory, talking over people, being, too loquacious, as some examples. And also too, if you have one of these aspects in your natal chart, another way it could manifest is that you may easily be able to balance, activities with people that were prominent in your past, which is the south node, and those that you're close to home with, which is the moon. Now, let's say, if the south node is in Capricorn, as an example, those people from the past, maybe Capricorn sun, moon, or ascendant persons, or embody the characteristics of the sun. It could be people that are very serious, regimented, structured, disciplined, responsible, ambitious, consistent, people that are very premeditative, that have good, ability, to plan ahead of time. So, this is where, this can, as an example, that's how this could pan out. Now, another thing too is that if you have the moon sextile or trine the south node in a natal chart, it could be that the mother and family, which is the moon, may be beneficial to what, you're naturally proficient in, which is the south node. In terms of helping you in those matters, encouraging you, doing things, being of assistance in activities that you may have a natural flair for, that you're naturally proficient in. Let's say if the south node is in Aries, as an example, those things you're naturally proficient in, maybe connected with welding or carpentry, being pioneering and innovative. It could be, simply being able to start initiate, projects and endeavors. It could be doing something, in the field, you know, maybe arson investigation involves fire, or areas, some other areas, fields, professions can also be speech pathology or physical therapy. It could be something with designs for the head, such as like a helmet or hat designer, as some examples. Now, these aspects also can be auspicious, for dealings with the public, which is the moon, during the first half of life, which is the south node. Now, the thing about this is, going to let's say the moon is in Sagittarius, as an example, there may be public dealings, connected with publishing, advertising, printing press operation, or even repairing, printers, as some examples. It may be, working as like a travel agent, as another example. Um, it could be some kind of commercial, working for commercials, and things, or something sports related, doing work connected with the outdoors, as some examples. And another thing too about the moon sextile or trine the south node in a natal chart, another way that it could manifest is that it could be, those overdeveloped, redundant qualities, which is the south node, may have, less of an adverse effect on that rapport, that connection, with moon-related people. And when I say moon-related people, some examples, could be, the mother, family, people you're close to home with. If you're doing any, dealings, with the public, or it could be, people that are in moon-related, positions, whether it's people, that work in the food industry or restaurant field, people that are involved in real estate or culinary work, home renovation, remodeling, as some examples. If the south node is in Virgo, again, as an example, those overdeveloped, redundant qualities, may be tied into, really analyzing things to the point where they don't need to be analyzed, such as, finding the Dwad within the Dwad in astrology, or if the south node is in Aquarius. It could be just being, unique and different, doing things in an unorthodox way, just for the simple sake of doing them in a different way, so anyway, another way that these aspects may be expressed in a natal chart could be that the people, if you may easily, find a way to be emotionally, which is the moon vested, in activities that are connected with your natural built-in abilities, which is the south node. If the south node is in Scorpio, as an example, those natural built-in abilities may be tied in with researching things deeply, doing, being able to empower others to transform, deal with crisis situations easily, and maybe something connected with a Scorpio-related field, whether it could be psychology or locksmithing, embalming, work as a coroner, surgeon, detective, working in forensics, as some examples. And also too, you may easily be able to leave behind, which is the south node, memories, which is the moon, that you need to. If there's negative memories, you may be able to, at least leave them behind to some degree. Memories, good and bad, could always resurface at some point, but you may be able to block them out a little bit better with these aspects, more so than most people, on average. If the moon is in the zodiac sign Cancer, as an example, it may be, negative memories connected with home, family members, or some real estate dealings, as an example. And also to the inner self, the unconscious side, which is the moon, which is what you're naturally proficient in. What you're naturally proficient in, which is the south node, can be, in harmony. So it's like, say, if you have, You know, if you have Gemini and Aquarius involved in this aspect, they would work well together because, you know, Gemini is about communication, Aquarius is about ingratiating, integrating yourself with society, you know, doing things that are group related or being, connecting with friends, social media as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.